Moving on to other stories now, the National Assembly convened day 2 of the government Q&A session. The Democratic Party grilled lawmakers on the cancellation of President Yoon's visit to Westminster Hall. The ruling bloc mainly targeted the previous administration's security policies amid increasing threats from Pyongyang. Kyung-eun brings the highlights.
Day 2 into lawmakers grilling government officials. Put on the fire were ministries related to national security and foreign affairs, one of the biggest areas the rival parties have been clashing over lately. Much of the opposition Democratic Party's focus was on President Yoon Suk-yeol canceling the visit to Westminster Hall, part of the Queen's funeral procedure due to traffic. They called it a diplomatic disaster that did harm to national prestige.
It's the government's failure to prepare and arrange in advance. Please admit that.
Everything was pre-arranged with the royals. They asked those who arrived late to pay tribute the next day at the reception. And many at head of state level also signed the book on the same day as President Yoon.
The DEP also brought up the now retracted plans to build a new reception hall as a result of the relocated presidential office.
Is the government thinking of resuming the 80 billion won plan once public sentiment changes?
The plan would be to share the reception hall with ministries and parliament and wouldn't just be for the president. President Yoon has halted the plan for now, since the message was not fully delivered to the public.
With the session coming just 4 months since the Yoon Suk-yeol administration took office, the ruling People Power Party also went on the offensive, targeting the previous liberal Moon Jae-in administration's policies. The security-focused conservatives targeted the past government's North Korean policies amid increasing threats in the wake of Pyongyang enacting a law to allow preemptive nuclear strikes.
South Korea puts a lot of money into its defense, but why are we still under threat?
I do believe that there were some areas where the direction of strengthening the war potential were incorrect.
Meanwhile, as President Yoon travels to the U.S., both parties pressure the government regarding the U.S. Inflation Reduction Act, which excludes domestically built electric vehicles from getting tax credits there. The government said it is currently actively pursuing bilateral negotiations. Kyung-eun, Arirang News.